of Bitcoin. And everything that Porter is doing, it stays in this realm. Not your keys, not your coins. But hey, George, I've got you here, and I'd really like to hear your insights about growth. What are we planning to do to grow Porter and to really get this out there in terms of the business development?
Business development is key because that allows us to spend less money on direct marketing. Right? You can either you spend a lot of money by buying ads and getting people to download the app or try out a swap. And that direct to consumer marketing, it's costly. So one of the ways that you can circumvent that is by going to different partners who you know already want to offer swaps to their own customers. And that is, I think, the path that allows us to get to market. For instance, by the way, there's a Robin who is on here. I think he's requested to be on the call. And Robin is our head of BD. So I know he's gonna want to be in on this with me. He's the one who's been getting our partnerships. Awesome. So the way I can segue to Robin is to say that we have partnerships such as wallets, where over the years wallets don't make any money, and so what they've done is they've introduced the ability to trade or swap tokens from within their wallet. That is one of their profit centers. You've got protocols such as like lending protocols, DeFi protocols, Aave, like Compound. You've got Perp DEXs, and those Perp DEXs typically only operate with one currency, right? So they're going to need the ability for folks to swap to the token that they use as the collateral for those Perp DEXs. And you've got other DEXs that just simply don't, spot DEXs that don't offer Bitcoin. And so that's where we come in, is we have an SDK that allows for anyone to insert the ability to swap cross-chain into those apps. And it's powered by Portal. The front end will look like their app. It'll look like their interface. They will believe that they're interacting with whatever that partner is. But on the back end, all of the swaps are safe and powered by Portal. And when we grow this way, you then have a really big funnel for lots of customers to come in and swap. And as the demand grows, then it attracts the supply to grow. And we'll get into the how to grow to the supply side too. But Robin, you've been the one who has been scoring all of our partnerships. This guy is a machine. He's like a beast when it comes to getting these partnerships. In the past year and a half that he's been working with us, I'm pretty sure he scored about 100 different partnerships. That's like a marathon. And in fact,
insane.
He is a marathoner.
Thanks, George. Thank you for that. Great intro.
Come on in, man.
Just before, Robin, just before you jump in, everybody listening to this now, we're going to explain you through, we're going to talk you all through this. So please smash that like, hit the repost so we can kick that algorithm into place. And by the way, if you do have any comments, anything that you're learning on here, if you have any questions, please throw them into the comment section of this post. I'm going to be looking through them as we go along. But please, Robin, feel free to take over here, buddy.
Thanks, man. And George, thank you so much for the very effusive introduction. As ever, I'm quite glad that no one can see me because I'm blushing quite heavily right now. But yeah, it has been a wild ride since I joined Portal. I've never been at a project whose tech, whose offering they're bringing to market has resonated so strongly with the teams that I'm speaking with, and that's fantastic. It really makes my job a lot easier.
That's a big endorsement, because why don't you tell who you most asked for?
No, absolutely right. So yeah, I was a senior business development manager at Paragon Technologies. Many of you will know them as the creator and steward of the Polkadot ecosystem. So that is Gavin Wood, Ethereum co-founder and CTO. That is his project, and I was there for a number of years. And I can tell you now, I love that project. I love my team. I love what they're doing in the ecosystem. It is really differentiated, but Portal has been a very easy sell. Without denigrating my role as a business development professional too much, it really helps when you have a product that people just love. They can really see the need for it. And it's not just about, well, I guess utility and need are two sides of the same coin, but there's really a need for it in the market, as George explained when he was speaking about the risks of cross-chain trade and exchanges. And I'll just build a little bit on what George was talking about in terms of our growth strategy and a couple of the prongs that we've been pursuing. One thing that I think about a lot, and George alluded to this, is the idea of a force multiplier effect. So how can we get thousands, tens of thousands, millions of people using Portal DEX, enjoying this incredibly safe swapping technology without spending millions and millions marketing it and having huge customer acquisition costs and all the rest of it. And one way to do that is this force multiplier effect of having partners that already have users where they have a need in their ecosystem for what we're providing, and we partner with them and tap into their community, and they get excited about what we're doing, and they start using it, and then liquidity breeds liquidity, users breed users, and we know how it works in crypto. You want to go where the other users are, you want to know where you see good liquidity, good volume, and also where you feel safe, where you see that people using the project, it is safe, it is backward tested, and that's why it becomes sticky. So one of the things that I wanted to do, just to pick up on a particular direction of travel, is thinking about making Portal DEX the default swapping venue for native cross-chain assets without users knowing, right? So what we're trying to do is think about reducing the friction of a user having to switch from their familiar project or protocol DEX to Portal. Reduce friction, take away that decision fatigue, reduce switching costs. And the way to do that is with partnerships with big aggregators and big DEXs who have that need for not just native Bitcoin, but other native assets that they otherwise can't access natively. They can't do it safely because they have to use bridges, they have to use some sort of pseudo-custodial solution. And the kinds of people we're talking about are the 1inches of the world. We've been speaking with CowSwap, with Camelot, Velodrome, Radium, Orca. These are all household names, and they're all interested in what we're doing. And a lot of these teams, we have partnership agreements inked with them behind the scenes, and they are just ready to be fired out of a cannon as soon as we launch. So this is an SDK integration to give their users safe, quick access to native BTC. So this is what you'll see rolling out after we launch. And yeah, you know those names, you know the volumes, you know the number of users that they have. If we can become the default swapping venue for native BTC and other assets in their front end without users even having to think or choose Portal, because we're providing the best, safest swaps and the best cost with the fewest hops and the best routing, then that's when this volume just begets more volume, and you don't have to worry about winning customers over. It's just happening in the background and slowly. So yeah, I'll pause there. That's just what we talk about, that particular direction of travel for our growth initiatives.
Dude, you just dropped a whole bunch of alpha for us. Thank you very much.
Did I say too much? Did I give it all away?
No. Everything and more that everybody in the community wanted. Guys, if you're listening to this right now, smash that like and repost. But hey, let's bring George back into the mix. George, I'd really love to get your insights here about BD and growth because, as we know at Portal, there is a very specific use case here. Okay, we have seen way too many bridges being exploited. We see central exchanges getting exploited and hacked literally week after week. We had that massive $4 billion on Bybit, for example, and this just happens all the time. And every time it happens, we're in crypto because we love this. It's the Hotel California, and we can never leave. We're in it. It makes sense. We understand that this is like going from writing letters to not going to the email, but we're going from the writing letters to the smartphone. Like this is a massive technological jump. And Bitcoin is deeply, deeply isolated right now. So how can we use Bitcoin in DeFi trustlessly and with you having self-custody all the time? And that is what Portal, it really is their vision and mission. But please, George, feel free to jump in there.
Sure. So just to clarify, there is no such thing as trustless. There is trust minimized because trustless means that it is, according to physics, right? It is foolproof, and nothing that is man-made can be foolproof. But we can do the best that we possibly can, and that's where atomic swaps comes in. This was proposed many years ago, back in 2013, by a pseudonymous character named Tier Nolan on the Bitcoin chat forums. And he proposed a way for Litecoin to be swapped for Bitcoin by being able to use hash time lock contracts, which are native to both of those chains. Now, a hash time lock contract is a way for a UTXO to be locked up. So that way, a signature is required in order to finalize the UTXO. So essentially, you're locking up your coins, I'm locking up my coins, and only when the agreed upon scenario is met, then a secret can be revealed that unlocks those tokens, and they go into your respective wallet, and they go into my respective wallet. Yours go into my respective wallet. That's essentially how a swap like that works. Now, this technology, like I said, it's 12 years old. But why is it that no one has been using it? Well, because actually, on layer one, it is extremely difficult to do so. What's happening is that centralized exchanges are happy with the methods that they have currently because they're pooling everyone's funds together and they're creating an internal ledger that does not cost them anything to settle. So you can trade USDC and Bitcoin all day long with their exchange, and only when someone decides to withdraw is there actually a settlement that happens on chain for those tokens, and then that's when a fee gets paid. So instead, they don't have to. They can charge you a small amount, and they keep that entire thing as profit. So they're maintaining these internal ledgers, and we just have to trust that they're maintaining those ledgers properly. And as we know over the years, they haven't been. Not all of them, anyway. And when, as we know from Mt. Gox, there were coins that were being traded that didn't actually exist in their own wallet. Now that happened in 2014, I believe, was the Mt. Gox hack. And
that's right.
Right, and they were trying to maintain the illusion that these coins still existed. So you were trading fake coins, and after that's right, this was BTC that didn't actually exist, because someday they hoped that they would be able to find the ones that went missing. This is what happens when you have internal ledgers rather than settling on chain all the time, or at least using a proper protocol. So, we're able to use the Lightning Network for BTC. And so that way you're actually performing off-chain, but at a layer above the BTC core settlement happens very quickly and it happens very cheaply, but you're utilizing the protection of Bitcoin layer 2 with Lightning in order to make these trades occur. Now, this has nothing to do with BD. I'm kind of laying the framework as to what it is that's being built here, because for us, that makes it really easy to sell. Once we tell people, okay, the key to making an atomic swaps cross-chain DEX actually work is to extrapolate it at layer 2. Now, once that gets built, you now have an ability to prevent what was causing problems all along with people trying to build exchanges like this. For instance, when I told you about these HTLCs, which are native to Bitcoin and other UTXO type chains, there's a concept called lockup briefing. So if you and I were to engage in a peer-to-peer transaction, you could place a bid, I accept it, but then you never actually deliver the coins, and you let the HTLC expire. Why? Because you could do this all day long with me until I run out of coins. And now you have no more competition with which to get cheaper coins.
And for anyone who's like gone on to Binance and done a peer-to-peer swap, for example, there are always people that are trying to cheat. And it so sucks. Like, it really sucks. That's so bad. But George, thank you very much for that explanation. I want to take you guys down the rabbit hole. But I want you to understand that all IQ, ELI5, this is for everybody in the universe to understand, okay? Not if you're deep into tech and stuff like this, because the tech behind us is incredibly complex. But I want you to understand Bitscaler versus layer 0, okay? So this is really a case for minimal, trustless, cross-chain liquidity. Now, the whole point here is speed, simplicity, and fail-safe architecture. Because everyone's talking about like cross-chain, it's going to be the future. And it sure is. Like I said, we're all working in silence. But most protocols, they build in trust, complexity, but also fragility. It means they're weak, they're shaky, and then they try to patch these things with different incentives and monitors and relayers, and it's just broken. Bitscaler is changing this 100%. This is not another DeFi product patch. This is an absolute architectural rethink, like it's rethinking the whole infrastructure completely. It's built on Bitcoin's layer 3 principles aimed at eliminating everything that makes cross-chain coordination fragile. So let's break it down for you, everyone who's listening here and who's listening later, how Bitscaler outperforms layer 0 as an example on speed, incentives, liveness, and transparency. So first of all, Bitscaler, it has instant execution without latency bottlenecks. What this means is that Bitscaler uses channel factories. If you want to know more about that, I'm going to tag you all in later. We have a really cool post about this. But channel factories, that's a Bitcoin native, super layer 3 innovation that opens payment channels in batches. And this means that there are going to be thousands of swaps that can happen off-chain. The settlement happens only when it's needed. And each swap is pre-agreed using hash timer contracts, as George previously mentioned. So there's no runtime message propagation. And the result is that you get instant response. There's no block confirmation wait. There's no off-chain actor dependency. Whereas layer 0, for example, and a lot of you guys listening right now may have used layer 0, execute a collection, there's delivery and execution on chain B. It's incredibly complex, but each step adds latency and fragility. With Portal, there are no validators, no tokens, no coordination overhead, because BitScaler's incentive model is radically simplified. Their users pay a swap fee, LPs or AMMs. They earn directly. No validators, no inflation, no token economies. It's just pure P2P economic clarity. Layer 0 is doing this completely different. They have a built-in incentive. It relies on apps like Stargate to vote on liquidity, mining, or custom fee logic, for example. And it leaves infrastructure operators exposed to the market volatility and operational participation. But when this message spikes or becomes unprofitable, Layer 0's execution layer can stall, unless, of course, it's subsidized externally. Which brings us to part 3, is that BitScaler has a built-in failure recovery. There's no disputes and no claim. BitScaler assumes failure. It automatically assumes failure. And that's why it works, because it expects failure. Every swaps, it's dual committed cryptographically. It can auto-refund if one party fails to act. So if the other side doesn't want to commit, okay, no problem, closed. And it's a proven outcome via hash pre-imaging, or it times out. So there is literally no global state, no re-entry queue, there's no arbitration logic, there's no fraud proofs. Whereas Layer 0, for example, they have pre-crime to pre-screen messages before execution. But that's all off-chain and optional. And so if the DVNs or executors go dark, the messages can stall indefinitely. Finally, as the last point I mentioned, is about transparency, because that doesn't rely on trust, actually. The BitScaler swaps, they're super, super simple. It's on-chain, hash time lock contracts on Bitcoin or Ethereum and Solana and more. It's easily monitored by any full node. There are no relayers, there's no off-chain message layers, and the auditing, it's watching state transactions. That's it. We can get into the subject of liquidity provided. In the marketing space, we talk about this because liquidity provided on Portal, you will become instantly our first-class golden citizens. Okay, and there is maximum incentive for you guys. If you want to learn more about that, please ask me this one. No problem. But maybe you would like to jump into a little bit more about that, George, about the liquidity provision, because I've been speaking for way too long. I'm bored.
I loved what I just heard, and calling it pre-crime, that was brilliant.
Thank you very much, my friend. I really
Yes,
appreciate it.
right. Expecting failure, right, and this is why.
From my really fluent language, and for me, I've been in the crypto space for a long time now. It just makes sense, which is why I love what everyone is doing at Portal and how everyone is committing in different ways. But please, let me give you the stage.
Okay. So thank you. Robin has been the one who has been gathering a lot of our LPs, and they're super intrigued by what we built, because for the first time, their funds are actually going to be kept safe. That's nothing that they've ever even encountered in their DeFi models. So when they decide to LP, they typically take a look simply at what the yield is going to be, and if they're LPing into pools that may have impermanent loss, they factor that in too. They want to make sure that their yield is above impermanent loss, but they never take into account permanent loss. And I don't mean when they actually withdraw and unstake. I mean when they get rugged. It's not part of their equations. So what they do when they talk to us is that model has to break. And it kind of breaks their minds when we describe it to them, because we're paying, well, I say we, the protocol is designed to reward liquidity providers with such a high yield that it outstrips most other DEXs, including the ones that aren't safe LP funds, such as Thorchain. That's custodial. So when these LP funds are actually considered non-custodial and they compare the yields, their minds are blown. So now that has to be communicated to them in a way that they can understand. And it's something we're working on. It's very interesting. So now with that said, the LP funds are for the first time something that they themselves can control. For instance, with Thorchain, I believe their technology works in a way that is akin to a multi-sig vault. And so what that means is the vault is controlled by an array of validators. Those validators, I believe, can collude, and in the past have colluded. So this has resulted in loss of funds for the LPs. Now, most of these DEXs, they tout, peer-to-peer trades, non-custodial trades, and they're right. Except they don't stay the side of the liquidity provider. And that is the lifeblood of what I think is going to be bringing Portal out of the stratosphere and into the galaxy. This is what is going to, I believe, suck the liquidity out of other DEXs that don't deserve the funds that they've been able to amass. And it's all because of the safety, while simultaneously matching the type of yield that they expect. If you take a look at our tokenomics model, there are emissions that occur every epoch in order to reward many of the roles that in the Portal network, roles such as validator, the light nodes, and also the LPs. But the LPs get the lion's share. And I've never seen tokenomics like this before, where more than half of all the tokens that are being minted every month or every epoch go to these LPs. In fact, it's not just more than half, it's 65%. And when you look at when you extrapolate that across the entire token supply, it's nearly a quarter of the whole total supply that goes into the pockets of liquidity providers. So you tell me, where would you rather keep your tokens as an LP? Would you rather keep them in an unsafe place that pays a normal yield, or would you keep them in Portal, earning a whopping gigantic yield, while also having no possibility of your tokens being stolen from you? We think that this is going to become a phenomenon where the liquidity gets sucked out of these other exchanges, put into Portal, and then because the order book depths becomes so deep, essentially the supply becomes so deep that slippage is almost a non-issue. And so then that attracts all of the people to want to swap through Portal because it's cheaper, it's faster, it's safer for them. And now the yields continue to rise for the LPs because the demand has gone up, all because the supply was there because it was safe for the suppliers to put their LP funds. And do you see this flywheel effect that forms? It is a network effect, I think, that creates a winner-take-all environment. Now you have a reason for other DEXs to install the SDK to make Portal their DEX-powered solution. You have wallets that are going to include Portal as their solution. And all of it compounds simply because you treated the liquidity providers right. And that's all I got to say about that. Robin, maybe you want to talk more about what you've encountered with the liquidity providers, or maybe maybe the offer to be a liquidity provider. How about that?
Certainly. What I actually just wanted to pick up on, George, is this safety aspect. Just quickly, add a little anecdote from a call that I had recently, which really underscores how important this is. So, safety of truly non-custodial LP calls, as George said, and as I found, really resonating in the market. And if you look after those LPs, then you start to spin that flywheel of liquidity. And I was recently speaking with a tier 1 LP. I can't give you their name, but you would definitely know them. You'd be impressed if you knew who it was. And we asked them outright. We were talking about the rewards. We were talking about the high APYs we're offering. We said to them, how important is safety to you? Straight up. When you're choosing where to allocate your liquidity, how much of that, how much of a factor is that in choosing where you're LPing your assets? And they said that it's so important to them that they would even be willing to cap their upside to preserve the downside risk of losing their funds in a pseudo-custodial LP form. So in a highly competitive market where everyone is looking for top returns, this top institutional LP were willing to consider a lower APY, even an APY cap that were offered as part of the deal, a lower absolute return on their investment if they could be guaranteed custody of their assets and swaps that either completed or stayed safely locked in their wallet. And that was just really powerful. So I wanted to just give that example, like that anecdote that we had. And it's crazy because we're offering not only, it's not like we're saying we're going to give people a lower APY, we're actually giving them the same rewards. And what that does is reflect how important companies are in the ecosystem. So what we have to recognize in a sustainable way, as George said, we're giving away almost 2/3 of the total emissions life cycle to LPs. And it's unbelievably safe, and it's the safest swapping technology out there that has been built, and so that's going to create this flywheel effect. I think George mentioned that we're having these conversations. We definitely want people to LP in our customer calls. We are very happy to speak with you if safety is important to you, if sustainable yields are important to you, if the best possible swapping technology and the best execution are important to you, then talk to us. You can DM me on X. I will give my details as well after the spaces. And this is true to the ethos of Bitcoin. It's true to the ethos of crypto decentralized technologies. These are permissionless, non-custodial pools, and we would love people to participate. So George, is there anything that I've missed?
Yeah. So we don't expect every listener on this X Spaces to be Mr. Moneybags with deep pockets to LP, but perhaps you know someone who would like to LP. Please refer them. There is a reward for that, but you have to do it through Robin, right? Because if that LP goes directly into the protocol, we'll never know it was associated with you. So there is a cash
people
component.
do that? Because not everybody has the ability, like they have the subscription on X. How can people get in contact with you guys? There needs to be a free channel to do this. Because, like I said, not everyone does.
Oh, is Robin's DMs blocked?
No, it's that if you don't have the verified account on X, then you can't DM.
I've had that
I think
verified
a really
account for so
cool
long.
way
I didn't know that.
might be to
Yeah.
go to the Discord, for example,
Yeah,
and you can
yeah.
tag the moderators, the admins, and tag us, please, and let us know that you would like to LP, and we can start that process for you.
Actually, I will chime in. So just please open a ticket and tag any moderator saying, hey, I want to become an LP, and we will set everything from that point forward.
Right, or I want
Thank
to
you,
introduce an
Mikhail, for
LP.
jumping
Thank you,
with
Mikhail.
us. Listen, if you guys want to LP, because it's incredibly attractive, you guys are literally the first-class citizens at Portal. If you want to do that, then please, number one, if you have the verified account, you can surely DM Robin or George. They're going to help you guys set up. But number two, if you're looking for the free variant, then please jump onto our Discord. Take a look at the pinned link. You can find us in there. Always go through official links, guys. Please, I would hate it if you ever got scammed. Always go through official links. And so join our Discord and please tag the moderators. Let them know that you would like to LP and we can help you guys get started. But it's super cool that we have Mikhail here with us because, Mikhail, we have so many updates I'd like to dig into with you. We have the wallet upgrade, we have the note spreadsheet, we have the lightning badges, we've got the bonus block quests, we've got the Yappa Jelly Rolls. Please, can you just quickly talk us through?
Actually, one thing, Mikhail, before you go,
Yeah, for sure.
I want to acknowledge what this guy has done. One of the reasons that other partners take us seriously is not just because we created damn good tech. There are many nerdy protocols out there with tech that will blow your mind, but they have no idea how to gather a community around. Mikhail has made that happen. So when we say we have the best tech, and then we say, check out how many followers we have on Twitter. Look at how many people are in our Discord. It blows their minds. And then they go, yeah, that's why Portal will win.
Oh, thanks. that's not my.
Mikhail, well done. Mikhail.
No, guys,
This
this.
time in the sunshine, man.
Thank you, but I think I just want to tell that I'm just like leading the thing, but our community is just people are just they love what we're doing, they love the vibes that we created, they love the tech, they love the team, and the whole team works like every day, every night. We're building and building, and sometimes it takes longer than expected, but the ultimate goal is here. But yeah, Richie, I will
Mikhail is
just
the jelly master. And I hope to see some memes.
The jelly master. Go on, Mikhail, please.
So yeah, the updates, like all the community members are mostly aware of because we do announce everything on our Discord and TG and of course on X. But yeah, first of all, the wallet update that we had a little bit of a blocker from the latest wallet update that you to copy their Ethereum addresses and check their light node allocation. Now it is fixed, so please update your wallet if you haven't, and you will also will be able to just look into it, copy your seed phrase, copy your address, so everything as usual. The same, the second thing that which you mentioned is the final node drop allocation. So in Discord, you can find a link to a Google spreadsheet where we listed all our node drop winners. So please take a look there. If you want a node, if you're one of the happy guys, just wait a little bit. Pretty soon we will release instructions on what to do next, how to claim your light node, how to do the KYC service. It will be, we will be integrating this service into our community hub. So of course, if you're not a part of it, please join it as soon as possible because everything will be there. From other stuff that basically, I'm pretty excited actually that we are having those spaces every week. Guys, I don't know what you think, but I think like this kind of flow and reach as a host fits perfectly with the raw to launch agenda, and we're releasing more and more information, not just about what we're building, but about all sides of Portal as a network, as a team. Like for today, for example, we have our BD team here, our BD Sharks, and it's always interesting to learn and know how they're working, and like this stuff with well-being, that's just brilliant. So I hope to see those things more and quite often. So Richie, kudos to you for getting those spaces out. So that's mostly the updates that I have. We already kind of discussed this before, but good to circle back and to remind on what's happening. And for all of those, one thing I wanted to mention actually about the hype around the soul swaps. We have a lot of messages asking to give access to perform Solana soul to BTC swap. First of all, just want to clarify first, it's still not live. We're pending some last final updates. The second, this is invite only. So like some top community members, some top yappers, maybe like selected KOLs will have the invite. And the third thing, it's unincentivized, guys. There's no practical reason. If you just want to do the test attack, that's perfectly fine. Hopefully we will be able to release it maybe later for the broader public, and of course you will be able to do it yourself on the mainnet. Just wait a little bit and everybody will be able to do soul to BTC swaps. So just don't rush. Don't think that you're missing some next big thing. Everything is clear. Please, if you want to be more active for the community, join on Discord, join our socials, earn badges, Yacht 4 portal, and everything will be fine. So, and for Solana swaps, as soon as we will add more info, of course we'll release it. And just follow our yappers to check out their demo videos and maybe post about the Soul Swap experience. That's all. Wish you blessing to you.
Thank you very much, Raphael, and I really appreciate the shout out, by the way. But tell us, how can people get onto the test now? Like you said, it's invitation only. So
it's basically it's all.
People asking about this.
It's already whitelisted, so we don't accept invitations. So there's no document here that you are filling out. So we have our own top community members, our big jellies that will be invited there. Just because, those people, those community members, the core community. They are with us from the beginning. They helped to build everything around Portal. They tested things tirelessly. They helped us with testnet issues. They support community. They answer the questions. They're just basically doing everything for Portal just because they love it. So of course we cannot just they should be the first to test. Same goes for our top yappers, those people support us from the beginning. And of course, like big KLs. But why big KLs? Because guys, we're talking openly. This is marketing, of course. Like more KLs, more exposure, better for the project. Everybody's happy. We're getting the attention that we deserve. So yeah, if we will have like more slots, of course we will give it for more people. But that's okay. Just wait a little bit, and you will test everything out yourself on the mainnet, and you will be able to swap your Solana to Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any other networks that we will connect to our protocol.
Guys, thank you. Channel is number one. Please smash that repost and like so we can kick the algorithm into place. That's absolutely right now. And you put some alpha because we shared a lot today. Then please, let's kick the algorithm into place. Second of all, we really talked you through BitScaler and its use case. And as you can see, we are growing exponentially. Literally, we are growing every single day. It's starting to make sense. The US government, they have never been more crypto bullish than we have ever seen in history. They are making ground literally each and every single day. And while I'm on this X space, I would love to see what Bo Hines is doing and all of this digital asset update. By the way, I haven't been able to keep update with this, but we are really going into new territory. If you are listening to this now, then you